Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Blue is the New White podcast. Today, we welcome back to the show an awesome advocate of the skilled trades. Only a year and a half removed from high school, Paige Knowles is finding any and every way possible to change the landscape of the skilled trades. In addition to being in college for construction management, Paige also has a popular Instagram and TikTok where she advocates for the trades, specifically plumbing, by going by the name Plumber Paige. She also has a YouTube channel to showcase the trades and relate it personally. And not only that, has written, illustrated, and published a children's book called Plumber Paige, Let's Replace a Shower Head, which is the first of many books in a how-to series for children. Tune in to hear all about Paige's journey since the last time she was on the show, what her goals are with the skilled trades, and how she's aligning herself with her definition of success. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and on our website at blueisthenewwhite.com to receive all the latest updates. As always, this show's not monetized and we don't run ads. We rely strictly on word of mouth from our listeners to further the mission. So if you enjoy this episode, please take a second to rate it, review it, and share it. The future generations of tradespeople depend on it. They depend on you. So thank you again, and enjoy this episode of the Blue is the New White podcast with Paige Knowles. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue is the New White podcast. I'm joined today with a previous guest that we've had on the show almost a year and a half ago. I think she reminded me it was about a year and 5 months. But Miss Paige Knowles joins us again today to talk about what she's accomplished in the last year and a half. Paige, welcome back to the Blue is the New White podcast.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm excited to be back here. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. I'm excited about this conversation. I see you all over social media, and like we were talking before, we'll get into this in the show, but you sent my daughters a book and they absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I know it by heart. So no, this is great. So for the listeners that didn't see the first episode that we did together, can you just kind of give us your background and where you come from, how you got to where you are today, what you're about?
Yeah, so I was a student at a tech school called LCTI in Pennsylvania, Lehigh Career and Technical Institute. Took me a second. And now I am a college student at a community college for construction management. I went to school for plumbing and now obviously construction management. I've been interested in the trades from a very young age. My parents are real estate investors. I've been working on houses since like middle school, I would say. So I've just been around it all, and there aren't a lot of girls in the trades. So I'm really trying to be a trades advocate, and I've been working on that basically for the past year.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And we need more of that. And you're doing a damn fine job of it. Because I've talked about this a lot on this show, right? Clearly I'm an advocate for the skilled trades. I've got the Blue is the New White book that pushes the message that all the benefits and the opportunities that exist in these industries. But really at the end of the day, an old fart like me, it resonates more when it comes from peers, right? So you're talking to people your own age or close to your own age. I'm trying to talk to people your age or younger than you. And the message just resonates better when it comes from somebody like you. But we don't have a ton of people like you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The only people who are trades advocates are the old people who are like family, who are just trying to like tell you how to live your life. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out on my own. When you hear younger people, especially in like work career paths, it's really awesome to hear from other people your age or a little bit older than you, to know that that's something you're actually interested in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just a different impact.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm, I don't want to like date myself or anything, but like, I'm not a super old guy, but I'm also not a super young, person.
Yeah.
So my message resonates a lot with people my age. Problem is, people my age, in their 30s, they're already established in their career. And of course, they could change direction. And a lot of I've coached a few people now in changing directions to get into the skilled trades, but it's a challenge, right? Because, you're not going to come in at 30 years old with zero experience and start making $45 an hour. It's just not going to happen, right? Like anything else, you got to work your way up to that, you know, and
you're starting fresh. You need to learn everything again.
Exactly. So I love to see people like you out there spreading this message. And speaking of spreading the message, you wrote a book. All right, I'm going to jump right into that. We're going to go head first into that. So you wrote a children's book. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so this has been something that's been in the back of my mind for a really long time, but I never knew that it was like so easy to do it. So I published through Amazon, and I actually have one with me right here. It's Plumber Paige, let's replace a shower head. You know, Plumber Paige is catchy. That's what I've been going by. And then I wanted a task that was super simple that kids could do at home, just to get them learning about the trades, getting hands-on experience, and something that was easy enough that the parents could help them through it and accessible in their, like, everybody's house, because who doesn't have a shower head?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I wrote a book. I actually illustrated this all by myself and wrote it. I just had like family look it over to make sure they liked it and published it on Amazon. So you can buy it there. I've also been selling it like personally too.
That is so cool. And tell me why. Why is that important?
There aren't books, or there's nothing to tell the kids about the skilled trades. Or there's like Bob the Builder, but that's how old, you know, like there's not anything new.
Forgot about Bob the Builder.
Right. I'm really trying to get into like the younger kids' heads that it's not an uncommon job and that you can do it, especially girls. Which is why I used myself as the character.
That's really awesome. So are you planning on having like a series of these books?
Yeah, I'm working on next one right now. It's going to be about a toilet leaking.
Nice.
Yeah, so I really want to write a whole bunch of different ones and possibly even get into different trades about it. But it takes a long time to illustrate a book. When I was going into it, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm not terrible at drawing. Let me just try it out. But it definitely takes a lot of work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. See, that's why I wrote a book without any pictures.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, that's really great. So I mean, how do you hope to get it into the hands of kids? Are you looking into school systems or, you know, marketing it as some kind?
So right now, I just kind of have been like posting about it on Instagram. I didn't think it would get any attention at all, but you know, it's out there now. And as I continue to make more, I hope that people will just find it through me and marketing it on my own. Like on Amazon, it's super easy to get. Anybody can really get it. But I am starting to go to events and talking to schools and everything. I'm part of an organization called Kick-Ass Careers. I'm pretty sure you've talked to people who are part of that. Yeah. And we're really trying to get to the schools to talk about the trades. And then I would obviously have some books there and do that kind of stuff.
That's great. Yeah, because Jamie McMillan also has her children's book, All the Kids on Boulder Street, up in Canada. So this is that's a huge opportunity, and you know, it's a way to get it into the hands of kids, and that's phenomenal. I know, and it's tough too when you're marketing to the age group that you are, right? Because it's essentially like what ages 8 to 10, 8 to 12, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger.
I didn't really set an age, but yeah, I feel like 6 would probably be the youngest, because I think about my cousins in that sense. How, like, could I explain this to them? And I feel like anywhere below that, they just wouldn't get it.
No, you're right. And like I told you, you know, before we started recording, my daughter is 6, and she loves your book, understands every part of it. I have to keep her away from the shower heads, you know,
that makes me so happy.
No, she loves it because I think she's really intrigued about. She knows what I do, right? She knows what I do for a living, and I'm not a plumber by trade. You know, I fix restaurant equipment. I own a company that does HVAC, refrigeration, and all of this on a commercial scale. So, you know, I talk to her. I try to talk to her about that. She knows that I have the podcast and the book and stuff, but she's never seen it from anyone else, right? And that's how little exposure there is out there. Yeah. So when we got your book in the mail, and she was like, wait. this is somebody that does something that you do, but she's a girl. This is great. So no, I think it's fantastic. And the more hands that we can get it into of kids, I think the more lives can be changed. At
I
least
definitely agree.
Eyes can be opened, right? That this is
that's what I was gonna say.
Real possibility.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So all right, so moving on, in the last year and a half since we last spoke, what else are you doing? You said you're going to college.
Yeah,
right? For
college for construction management. I'm learning that basically I am interested in all of the trades, not just specifically plumbing. So it's a good way to start getting into all of the different levels of it all. And I'm learning kind of how to be the manager, general contractor, which I don't think you actually need a license in Pennsylvania for. So I'm starting to possibly want to go by that rather than just like a handy woman, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing jobs on my own. I started a YouTube channel. I don't think I had that last year. And then Instagram, TikTok, I'm way more heavily on, and the book.
Instagram and TikTok. That's one thing that I haven't migrated to yet is TikTok. It's because
I'm terrible at it.
And everybody tells me too. Everybody tells me all the time, like, hey, you got to get Blue is the New White on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't want to do it. Like, you have get somebody to do it for me, and I'm all about it. But
I totally agree with that. It's a lot of work, and like social media seems like it should be easy, but it takes a lot more behind the scenes than people think.
Yeah, right. I mean, you see people like Gary Vee and guys like this talking, and it's like, just post. It's like, all right, wait a second, hold on. You got to get the pictures right. You got to get your hashtags right. You got to know who to tag. You got to make sure, you're writing the right thing. You're not pissing everybody off or anybody off, because there's some stuff that people take super personally, and you're just like, come on.
And you would never expect it either.
No, I mean, it's just, I posted some stuff that was just dumb, and people are like, you're giving the trades a bad name. Wait, what? How? Like, how?
That was not my intent.
I'm gaining attention, right? Like, just because you're bitter and you don't like it, but but anyway, that's really cool. So let's go in order here. Construction management, you're going to college for that, so what are you enjoying about the management aspect of the trades?
Yeah, so I'm very much of a leader, which I didn't really realize until high school and when I was getting out of high school, how much I like to help people and lead people, and not so much like tell them what to do, but actually help people grow. So that was a really fun experience to work alongside people who were similar to me, but have different strengths. So we helped each other with different parts. We just finished this semester. So like, I have one more class tomorrow and then I'm done. But the last class we had in our framing class, we built a tiny house. And then the last class, we put plumbing throughout everything. And everybody in my class didn't understand how to do that at all. So I went immediately into like teacher mode with that. But then I took a residential wiring class and people were teaching me how to do that. So it's a really fun experience. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that does. It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like it kind of brings everything full circle, right? And you did the plumbing stuff obviously already, and now you're kind of seeing how it all ties together. I think I saw that on your Instagram too, by the way, the framing thing. I don't know if it was a TikTok or Instagram, or I saw it somewhere, but it looked like a lot of fun. And I'm building a house right now, and and we're just we wrapped up framing a little while ago, but I just thought it was super interesting, the way that it's all built and the walls are stood up, and it just, it generates this intrigue. I think that, you and I both talk about with the skilled trades that is all but taken for granted, right? You look around and you see a house, right? You see the house that you're living in, you see the building that you're working in, you don't know what goes into it as far as constructing it from the bottom up, right? Maybe if you did, maybe if more people did, there'd be a better appreciation for what you have,
Very true. Yeah.
Instead of just looking around saying, hey, this is a great house. I love being in this house. Well, what about the insulation? What about the framing? What about the electrical? What about the plumbing? What about, all of this stuff had to come together to construct this thing that now, helps you live your life.
Function. Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very interesting. And that's cool. So you've got one more class of that and you're done. Is that what you said?
For this semester, yeah.
Oh,
I have one more class for my framing class. I finished everything else. I took my finals. So next semester will be spring semester because they don't really have construction stuff over the winter. And then we're doing interior finishes and then code classes and stuff like that.
Oh, those code classes are going to be fun.
Yeah.
Super
I got into
fun.
it a little bit with my residential wiring class. I had the electrical code book, and it's so overwhelming because, like, when I was in high school, I just read over the plumbing code book, like, just in school. Why not? And I gained a lot of knowledge from that. But going into it, like, just diving into it, needing to know everything all at once, it's so overwhelming.
There's so much.
Yeah.
There's
So
just
much.
so much stuff. Oh yeah. And those inspectors, you don't want to get on their bad side, because they're the ones that wrote that book. And if they were picked on too much in high school, you know what I'm talking about. So no, that's really cool. All right. So what about your YouTube channel? What kind of content are you putting out on YouTube? Is it all about plumbing? Is it about other things as well? What do you got?
It's been a little bit of a struggle for me to figure out, actually. It's called Plumber Paige, so I feel like it should be strictly about trades related content, but there is more to me than that. And so I vlogged Disney trips with our friends. We went and I did like a five videos for that, and I just vlogged. I'm trying to get better at filming because I do a lot of stuff that people would probably love to see, but even if I do film it, I can't put it all together. So I'm still working on it, but I do have mostly trades related content on there. I got my wisdom teeth out a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking about posting that up on there too, because it's really funny. So it's kind of a personal page, kind of a trades related page. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, okay. So you haven't really picked a direction. YouTube is one of the, if not the hardest, probably the hardest platform to gain followers on or subscribers. I actually started a YouTube channel back in 2013 it's a how-to channel, right? How to perform a bunch of basic tasks on commercial hot side equipment. And back then, nobody was doing it in my industry, like zero people. So it was a huge white space. And I think just last week, I broke like the 10 or 12,000 follower mark or something like that on YouTube. But it's very difficult. And, to figure out the algorithms and what people watch, little trick of the trade. And for those listening too, if you prefix anything with how to, that's the money. That's the money ticket.
People love it.
Yeah. How to is it seems to rank better in the searches. It seems to it just seems to hit better all around.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. And I kind of like that you're intertwining a little bit of personal in there too.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a relatability factor in what you're trying to do. Right. And to get people to pay attention to the skilled trades and to get people to pay attention to your message, there has to be an element of you that they like.
Right.
I mean, what's not to like, obviously, but to show them that, right? I mean, it's and I think that's a hard balance to strike. So I'm really excited to see how that channel kind of evolves for you.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to post more. I have a goal for this upcoming year to at least do one video a month. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it gives me some free way to work on it, make sure I like the videos, but to be more consistent.
Yeah. Consistency is key in no matter what you do. Consistency is my jam. That's my game, no matter if you're working out, if you're on social media, if you're, running a business, it doesn't matter. Consistency over everything. I don't care if it's once a day, once a week, once a month, once a year. Consistency is, consistency to me is the the biggest fundamental of success.
Yeah.
So sorry, don't get me started about consistency. I won't stop. So talk to me about your Instagram page. I think that's your main medium right now, right? Is Instagram. You've got, I don't remember how many followers you have, but it's a lot now, right?
It's not too much.
What is it? What is it?
We've got a long way to go. It's like 1,500.
Yeah, no, that's quite a bit though. I mean, for somebody talking about the skilled trades and what you're doing, you know, I don't have to tell you, it's a very hard niche to get people's attention on, because people are just, they don't care, or they don't know whatever it is. So people like us, we're trying to change this narrative. So that many eyeballs is an accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that was another accomplishment of the year. I was really, really excited. I hit 1,000 followers. I partnered up with Observer Tools. We did a little giveaway, so that was a fun thing.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, so what do you hope to accomplish, right? With the YouTube channel, the Instagram, you know, your own personal ventures, as far as, you know, the books and stuff like that. What is do you have an ultimate goal, or do you have many little goals? What does that look like?
I feel like whatever happens, you know. It's not like I'm just content where I am, but I want to see what opportunities present themselves. I definitely think having a TV show is a really big goal of mine. I don't know how reachable that is at the moment. But I'm just trying to get out there and get people to know about the trades. And it's not even about me, it's just the trades. People need to hear it. And if I'm the person that's going to tell them, like, I'm okay with that, you know? So it's really just to be a trades advocate at the moment, at least.
That's great. And so your objective at this point is to kind of cast a wide net, right? Is put as much out there as possible, see what comes back to you, and how you can use that as an opportunity to, you know, expand the amount of people you can reach, right? To just spread this message about the trades. Yeah.
What I've been saying lately is to be the female Mike Rowe.
Oh, nice. I've been called the more crass version of Mike Rowe. So you can be the female version. I'll be the asshole. It'll work out fantastically.
Awesome.
And Mike Rowe's over there like, what are these people talking about? No, that's really cool. And I think that's a great objective. So tell me, I mean, what do you see in the skilled trades that makes it so important for everybody to know? What is it? I mean, you're passionate about this, but there's got to be a reason behind it. What is that?
Well, it has such a huge purpose that is so much overlooked. Like you were saying, it's all around you. Anywhere you look, it's necessary. So and there's not a lot of people in it. We're always looking for more workers. So I'm really trying to get people to want to work in them. It's not like that's the only career path, but if you're choosing a job and just because that's the right way, like, and if you're not enjoying it, why not do something that feels so rewarding at the end of each and every day, to have something completed and to be contributing to such a large network?
Yeah. Yeah. All very, very good reasons, you know, to be in the trades. And I really resonate with that rewarding thing, because it really is. It ain't like, you know, punching numbers on a spreadsheet and going home and doing the same thing every single day. You know, the trades is an area where you can step back and you can look at your work, you know, whether you're a plumber, an electrician, a contractor, you know, a mason, it doesn't matter. You can take a step back, you can look at your work and you can take pride in it.
Yeah.
You know, and
you can say, I did that.
Exactly. You know, and there's just something about that, you know, makes you feel accomplished. And that's the only way I can sleep at night, right? Is if I feel accomplished during the day, which I think is why I resonate so much, you know, with the trades. And you know what, honestly, I mean, it's full of people that, I mean, for lack of a better term, I've talked to a lot of people on this show. I think, well, I've talked to you twice. So I think I've had 111 guests now at this point, and they all tell me something very similar. It all relates back to the opportunity to help people, which essentially is what you're doing, even just as an advocate, right? And I think that's huge because, you know, in this day and age, people want that, right? You know, they want that feeling of being able to help somebody, and so they're just not aware of how that translates into blue collar work.
Yeah, a lot of people, I feel, just stand all of that. A saying within plumbers is plumbers protect the nation. And so when people hear that, they're like, no, they just play with poop. They plunge toilets. That's about it.
Well, and that's it.
There's so much more to, and like in the simplest form possible. Yeah. With the simplest form possible, this is what Coach and I always talked about, is you keep the good water from the bad water, but that's so important to the well-being of everybody around. So it is really about helping people and keeping them safe too. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, or it's kind of overlooked at least.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And, you know, I love the way that you frame that, because I think that's what we need to do, right? We need to frame it differently. Just like your example with the plumbers, right? I like to say, look, we don't pave roads, right? We connect cities. We connect people. We don't fix refrigerators. We feed people. We
There's
keep
so much more
healthy.
to it. Yeah.
You know, yeah. And there is. And I think if we can frame it properly, more people would be interested in this line of work, because typically back in the day, it wasn't like that, right? It was like, hey, put your hat on, get to work,
do some grunt work.
Do some grunt work, you know? And so anyway, I think there's a lot to be said about that. So let me ask you this: aside from school, aside from Instagram, YouTube, all the writing the book and all the billion things that you're doing, clearly, do you work as well, like as a plumber and?
Yeah. So I think right as we filmed the last podcast, I was actually quitting my job. The pandemic was, messing everything up, but I wasn't going. It's nice to work for someone when they're teaching you and you want to learn, but I'm not sure that my path was to become a master plumber anymore, as much as a trades advocate, working with your hands, this kind of other handyman, general contractor path. So I'm not working for anyone right now, but I am marketing myself as a handy woman, and I am doing a lot of jobs. I'm getting paid like double, 3 times the amount as what I was with the plumbing company. So
that's awesome. That is super cool. So I gotta ask this question. Do you get funny looks? Like because you're a woman in the trades and a handy woman? I mean, is this something that, people are like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think they're just about it. When I was working with the plumbing company, when I would go into people's houses, they were more surprised because they called a company out and this girl was showing up. So they didn't know what to expect. Now I market myself as the handy woman. So when people are contacting me, they know that they're talking to me. So I feel like they've already taken that, like, whoa, she's a girl. Okay, I guess I'm going to trust her. I think the people that I talk to now aren't as like suspicious anymore because I have proven myself and, I have a good word of mouth kind of. So there is a lot of suspicion about a girl walking into your house, but the people who hire me, I think, trust me.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious then, in the last year and a half, especially with all the stuff that you're doing, this stuff doesn't always come easy, right? You're hit with challenges. You're faced with challenges. So what's your biggest challenge right now? That you're facing.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Well. So there's a job that I just did actually, and it was always the jobs that are supposed to be easy jobs and then they turn out really bad, and a lot of problem solving, and problem solving, that kind of stuff isn't bad, but I don't think the customer even looked at me as like a failure or anything like that, but there's a lot of self-doubt within me that I'm trying to work on. And like I kind of imposter syndrome, if you've ever heard of that. Like, am I really into the skilled trades? Am I a trades advocate? Am I just a girl talking about it, or am I doing it? So there's a lot of self-doubt, but I'm trying to prove myself not only to myself, but to everybody else around me. I would say that's probably the biggest struggle, though.
I'll get used to it because that don't go away. No, I'm just kidding. Well, not really.
Great.
No, I think that's real. And I really like that you mentioned that because I think a lot of people will relate to it. Myself included. Look, I mean, I started off in this trade working side by side with my dad, just the two of us, right? Fixing restaurant equipment. Now the CEO of a company with 60 employees and 4 branches in 3 states. And, you know, it's really easy to look in the mirror and be like, what?
Is this real?
What? What just happened? I blacked out the last 13 years, just woke up and have no idea where I am.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a mark of, I think, greatness. Okay. And that's not a humble brag for me. It's more of a compliment for you. Because the greatest people that ever did anything, right? The most talented people, the most successful people, they're never satisfied with where they are. And that comes with an element of imposter syndrome. Am I really as good as I am? But that's the separator, right? Is that they can look at that and they can say, well, maybe I'm not. How do I get better? Right? How do I move the needle in the right direction? What's the next step every single day of your life? And you use these challenges that you face, you know, as stepping stones to greatness. So for what it's worth, I think you're on the right track.
Thank you. That really does mean a lot.
Good. All right. Well, I think what else do you want to say? I mean, you know, we obviously we talked a year and a half ago. If anybody is listening to this now and wants the first half of this conversation, go back and check it out. I don't remember what episode it is, but it was July, I believe, of 2020. An episode with Paige Knowles and Ken Midget, also known as Coach. I believe it was the 3 of us talking. Great episode. But Paige, what else before we wrap everything up, what else do you want our listeners to know?
You know, there's probably a lot of people who are in the trades and, you know, not on social media. You need to be the ones who also are telling people that it's an option. Everybody needs to take a step to make more people aware of the skilled trades. So that's just a piece of advice. Like, come on, help us out. But yeah.
Okay. All right, good. One last question for you then. And I probably asked you this in July last year, but I'll ask it again because this changes for everybody all the time. I talk a lot about success, right? And how the skilled trades allow you the opportunity to succeed whatever your definition of success is. So if I were to ask you today, Paige, what your definition of success is, what would you tell me?
So I would say it's changed a little bit, but not too much. I often tell people I define success as freedom and happiness. So freedom, not necessarily meaning that you have like no worries or cares in the world, but that you're in control of what you're doing with your life. And happiness is kind of a given.
Yeah. I think that's great. I think it's simple. And I think that if everybody had that, everybody would be at least a little successful. No, I really love that. All right, Paige, we're going to wrap it up. Why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Yeah. So on Instagram and TikTok, I'm plumber_Paige. On YouTube, I'm just Plumber Paige. That's all I'm really using right now. I've deleted basically everything else. So
nice.
or I also have a website called it's just plumberpaige.com. I'm not on that too much. I'm thinking about starting blog posts on there, but we'll see about that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Paige, for coming back on the show. I really appreciate it, and I know my listeners will too.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so happy to hear that your daughter loves the book.
Loves the book. Loves the
so
book.
Happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and until next time. All right, keep kicking ass out there.
Thank you.